Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Sunday, and that means it's Dragon's Day. And this week's episode of Race to the Edge is, Loyal Order of Ingerman. And if I mispronounced the last name, I apologize. Upset after learning his ancestors were hunters who killed off Dromelians, Fishlegs sets out to see if he can find any of the dragon species left. Okay, things I liked about this episode. I am going to be completely honest with you. This is the first time I've watched this episode, so it's kind of in that category of I don't exactly hate it, but I don't exactly love it. It's a great episode for me. I will say there is a very good message about conservation kind of buried in here, or at least I got that out of there. And the fact that overhunting can lead to the complete destruction of a certain type of animal. We did it with the Tasmanian tiger. And several other animals. And a lot of it, I'm not going to say a lot of it, all of it is very tragic, because anytime we lose an animal through anything other than natural divine, is very tragic. Anytime we lose an animal species by human hand is very, very tragic. By natural selection, that's different. That's nature choosing it. But when it's done by us, a complete species is wiped out, it's always very tragic. And they touch on this very nicely in this episode. And what is very sad about that is that once they're gone, that's it, they're gone. We're never going to get them back. Which, again, like they touched on very nicely in this episode. So aside from the conservation message, in here, there really wasn't a lot I liked about this episode. That's not to say I hated it. It just doesn't really stand out all that much to me. Although probably more than some of the last videos have. Flip side of that coin, things I didn't like about this episode. There really wasn't anything I didn't like about this episode. Nothing really worth nitpicking over. Again, this was not an episode that I expressly loved. It's also not an episode I expressly hated. It is a great episode. I may grow to love it later, or at least like it later on down the line as I watch it again and again. But it will never be in the top favorite list. It might get right on the edges, because there is that conservation thing in there. And anything with conservation kind of gets a lot of extra bonus points. But there are a lot of other episodes in front of this one that I really like, because they had stuff that really jumped out at first viewing for me. So we're just going to have to wait and see where this one goes for me. I can guarantee you it will never fall into the I hate it category. So there is that plus side. It's never going to go into the hate category. If it moves anywhere, it's going to be into the like category. Though we are on the dislike thing, I do want to mention one thing that I forgot to mention for the like category. I do like how the focus, instead of being on like Hiccup or Astrid or the writers as a whole, kind of focused on Fishlegs. We've only had a handful of episodes in the DreamWorks Dragons franchise. So Race to the Edge, Riders of Berk, Defenders of Berk, that have focused on Fishlegs. And this is one that we can add to that. I believe Gem of a Different Color, the Iron Grunkle, Thor Bone Crusher, and the Return of Thor Bone Crusher, and I guess you could kind of throw Shake, Rattle, and Roll into, or Quake Rattle and Roll into that category too, because he was the predominant in helping this one dragon. But really just a small handful. Granted, the twins and Snotlout really haven't had as many either. The primary focus tends to be mostly on the group or on primarily Hiccup and Astrid. So I did like the change. I know, granted, we were like, hey, wait a minute, this is the dislike section, but I just didn't want to jump back to the like section to mention that, so. But all in all, nothing I really hated, nothing worth nitpicking over. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my related DreamWorks Dragons videos. My other DreamWorks Dragons TV Talk videos. my other TV talk videos. And my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube are on my Facebook page. The link will be in the description section. Facebook friends, basically the same deal. Any videos that cannot be found on my Facebook page are on my YouTube channel. The link will be in the description section. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. The link for that will be in the description section as well. Please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. You can also feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. The names I use for those 4 sites are on the screen, if that makes it any easier for you guys to locate me, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respective artists. I own absolutely nothing, and the links for the 4 sites I mentioned will be in the description section. Finally, DreamWorks Dragons will be coming to an end the end of next month, actually. And that means there will be an opening for a new TV Talk series for Sunday. And that means you guys get to vote and tell me what series you would like me to do a set of videos on. Your choices are Horseland, Outlaw Star, Dot Hack Sign, and Inuyasha. Voting is extremely simple. All you have to do is write and or like or love a positive comment on one of the 4 shows listed, and whichever one gets the most votes is the one I'll do a set of videos on. Please keep in mind that negative comments and dislikes do not count as votes, and if Inuyasha is selected, I will do up to at least the 1st season of the sequel, Half Demon Princess. Voting will be until the 30th of April. Okay, so you got a little over 2 months. I apologize for that. 30th of April. But if I have to change the date, I will let you guys know and apologize for the saying a month. That was an error on my part, and I do apologize for that. You may vote as many times as you wish, but please keep in mind that in the event of a tie or no votes, I do have the final say. So far, the votes stand at 1 vote for Horseland and 2 votes for Inuyasha. But keep in mind, you do have 2 months left, so be sure to get your votes in and make your voices known. Okay, please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can feel free to click on the link on your screen to view my previous video on TV Talk video on DreamWorks Dragons. Or you can click on the other link on your screen to view my last posted video for TV Talk. Okay, as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.